My name is Tony Litt. I'm the MD of Sunrise Radio, and it's my immense pleasure to bring you the official Sunrise Radio podcast. We are the #1 commercial Asian station in the United Kingdom, with many firsts to our name, and we continue to be the voice of British Asians who have given us their love and loyalty over 30 years. It's a legacy we cherish and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. Our aim has always been to entertain the listeners with the best of Bollywood and Bhangra, while also addressing their concerns. A real voice for the community, a vibrant community, and a great nation. We are proud to be British and Asian. This podcast is a compilation of some of the things we do on the station, with a stellar lineup of presenters who each have their own personality and style. It's entertaining, informative, engaging, and we hope you will enjoy it here as a podcast if you are unable to tune in to the radio. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your family and friends about this podcast. And do leave us a comment on what you think. We'd love to hear from you. All the best always. Team Sunrise.
Sunrise Radio.
Hey, my name is Shabnam Sahi. Welcome to the official Sunrise Radio podcast. I'm on your radio weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. If you've heard the show, you know what to expect from it. But here are some exciting, interesting Bollywood stories that you may have missed. This time round, served up as part of our official Sunrise Radio podcast. Enjoy. Ajay Devgan is an actor who turned producer to be able to have more creative control on the content of his films. His interest in directing also brought him a fair amount of success, giving him a clear indication that it was the right decision. Ajay Devgan's recent aviation thriller that may have left the aviation industry in India slightly annoyed with the way Ajay's character in Runway 34, a pilot, was portrayed. But the film left a good impression on fans, right? I saw it some weeks ago and it was quite interesting. I mean, especially because it was inspired by real events. One can only imagine the state of the passengers and the crew on that flight. Anyway, in a rather interesting twist of fate, Bollywood pundits, they are now pointing out that Runway 34 is doing far better on OTT than it did in the cinemas. And these are the crucial viewing stats that filmmakers must pay attention to be able to gauge कि किस film को कितने budget में कौन से platform के लिए बनाना है. So they can cater to every need and they can maximize their profits. The OTT audience, this is seen as a more open, more adventurous, more receptive to new ideas and to change, that kind of an audience, compared to those who prefer to go to the cinema and they continue to look at the whole experience of watching something on the big screen with popcorn and Coke and nachos and all the rest of it. They look at it as a family day out. They are still quite old school in their preference. जो फिल्में उन्हें पसंद आए, शायद वो OTT की audience को ना पसंद आए, and vice versa. That is something our filmmakers need to be aware of. बस इतना सा ही कहना था आपको. It's time to talk about a drop-dead gorgeous model turned actress, Shobita Dhulipala. अरे आपने अभी तक उनका काम नहीं देखा? आपने ये क्या कर डाला? To rhyme with Dhulipala. Anyway, I'll tell you about her, in case you don't know who she is. Shobita Dhulipala, she quietly made a place for herself in dramas like Made in Heaven. She played one half in a team of wedding planners in that drama, trying to piece together that dream wedding for her clients. While at the same time, her own life, rather their own lives, were falling apart. By there, I mean she and her partner in that story. With Alankrita Srivastava as one of the writers, directors, with the backing of Zoya Akhtar and Reema Kagti's Tiger Baby films, Made in Heaven 1 was a glitzy yet poignant tale of Delhi high society, where nothing is what it seems. And a lot of the stuff, especially when it comes to weddings and other social events, are all done for the sake of shosha. Shoshebaji जिसे कहते हैं. You know, hi, लोग क्या कहेंगे? शर्मा जी की बेटी की शादी मेहलोली फार्म हाउस में, मेहरोली में, हमारी बेटी के लिए इससे भी बड़ा फार्म हाउस चाहिए. हाँ, इससे छोटे से काम नहीं चलेगा. You know, that kind of mentality. Peel back one thin layer from the glitzy exterior of these opulent and glamorous lives, and we are shown their heartache, their vulnerabilities in full glory. How desperate they can be to fit in, desperate for approval from others. That was the appeal of Made in Heaven 1. Shobita Dhulipala, her business partner and friend in the story played by Arjun Mathur, her husband played by Jim Saab, all of these people, they walked away with all the glory after delivering gutsy performances. Made in Heaven 2 is due for release on Amazon Prime very soon. Shobita was last seen opposite Adivi Sesh in Major, She also has a meaty role in the Hindi adaptation of The Night Manager. She stars in a Hollywood film titled Monkey Man. She will also be keeping Aishwarya Rai Bachchan company in Mani Ratnam's Ponniyin Selvan 1. And if that weren't enough, Shobhita is here in the UK for a month, shooting for something that hasn't been officially announced yet, but it will be soon. Very soon, we are told. I'm excited. Malika Sherawat, the queen of controversy, who's been cast from the same mold as Kangana Ranaut. Why? Because she loves to stir up trouble with her bold and brazen statements. She has a rather interesting film out. It is titled RK RK. And this has an ensemble that includes many familiar names from the OTT space. Besides Malika Sherawat, there's Kubra Seth, Ranveer Shure, Manu Rishi Chadda, Abhijit Deshpande, Vaishali Malhara, many others. This film releases on the 22nd of July. Lekin, Malika Sherawat ended up in the headlines when she spoke about something completely unrelated to the film. Yeah, she said, what Deepika Padukone did in Gehraiyan, I did that 15 years ago in Murder. But people were too narrow-minded back then. You know, there was such a hue and cry when Murder released in 2004. Remember? People couldn't get over the kiss or the fact that I wore a bikini. That's what she says. I was immediately branded as someone who wasn't to be taken seriously as an actress. I was criticized by one and all. And everything I did after Murder got overshadowed by people's perception of who they thought I was. Bold, daring, unsuitable for the mainstream. Not fair. That's what she says. हालांकि ये मेरा फर्ज बनता है. I have to point out, 2004 I was here, but I remember that time so clearly. Any and every interview that Malika Sherawat and Imran Hashmi did for Murder, in virtually every interview, they ended up pointing out that, oh, there are 17 kisses in the film, 17 kisses. अगर ये आप बार-बार कहते रहेंगे, and if you think that is the USP, the unique selling proposition of your film, naturally लोग तो ये समझेंगे, भाई, here's an actress who cares more about the kiss than her craft. इसमें हमारी क्या गलती है? बताइए ना. Actor, comedian, host, podcaster, YouTuber, the multi-talented Manish Paul. He is basking in the success of Jug Jug Jio. He's calling it a fun ride, and he says it is a film that has brought me endless love and adulation from fans around the world. And this has come as a bit of a surprise. That's what he says. He says, my aim is to always bring my best game to the table, whether it is to a film or to a TV show. But I was a little nervous about sharing screen space with a legend like Anil Kapoor. He says, I have hosted a show with him before, lekin working in a film is a completely different ball game. The audiences have appreciated our comic timing as well. My approach was, ki bhai, jo bhi अच्छे से करो, जो भी करना है, and I'm sure people are relating to that. That is what people are loving about Jug Jug Jio. Uske baad, speaking about Varun Dhawan, he says, Varun and I have always had a great time. That's because Varun is such a down-to-earth, chilled-out person. He's never had these airs, ki bhai, maine to itni badi filmein ki hain, main ye nahi karunga, wo nahi karunga. He's a guy who's always had fun, and he enjoys what he does. And he makes sure that his product is always good. People are saying, bromance is back. That's a superb compliment for both Varun and I. Because usually kya hota hai, you have a hero, then you either have a sidekick or a comedian next to him. But here, people are looking at us as two guys who just want to have some fun. And then when people asked Manish Paul, ki bhai, are you only going to be doing these ensemble roles, part of a long lineup, or are you also going to attempt some solo hero projects? He says, it's not like that I won't make a solo hero film. But we are in times where an actor can afford to do everything. Look at Ranveer. He was in an ensemble cast in Dil Dhadakne Do. He continues to do solo hero films. He's done 2 hero films as well. Eventually, we are open to all and every opportunity that comes our way. As actors, we are here to entertain you. जो भी मिल जाए, जिस भी काम को हमें दिल से करने का मौका मिले, बस उसी को हम हाँ कहेंगे.
You can catch Shabnam Sahi, the ultimate storyteller, weekdays 9 a.m. till 12 noon.
The greatest station, radio station in the world. Sunrise Radio.
Hi, this is Anushka Arora. As always, lovely to have your company for the Sunrise Radio podcast. And this week, I have another special guest on the show. Hi Ranveer, hi Vani, hi Sanjay.
Long time.
It's so nice to be speaking to you guys. Fantastic trailer, amazing feedback. We've just got 1 week to go. Ranveer, I'm going to start with you. How are you feeling about everything? And I think it's been a long time coming to see you back on the big screen.
Absolutely. It's been 4 years for me. So I've forgotten the feeling of jitters that you feel during a movie release. But all those feelings, exactly what I felt during Savarya, my first film, is kind of coming back. I'm reminded of that. And I often even speak to Sanju sir. He's been working since 40 years. He must have done close to 100 films, and he feels it too, So I think that's what we actors feel. We put in so much of love, so much of effort, so much of our own personality in movies that you have to have these feelings. The day you stop feeling these feelings, these jitters, I guess that's the death of an actor.
Absolutely. And Vani, over to you now. I've heard in some of your interviews, Vani, that, post Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui, you've mentioned that you would hope that directors would consider you for more of content-driven roles. How would you describe your role as Sona in this movie?
I feel this one is what I was talking in context to Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui was very, the kind of subject that I picked in that film. Just more meatier and fleshier for a girl, which was kind of driven by a female protagonist. That's very interesting, and that is something I am hoping more in the future that happens. This is a film which is, of course, it's named Shamshera. It's pretty evident. It's a father and a son story. A father's legacy and how a son takes it forward and fights for the freedom of everybody. And I am playing an impactful part, but of course, it's not driven by me. Having said that, I'm very proud of the film. I'm very proud of the character Karan offered, and I've essayed in the film because she's also very substantial. You see it beyond her looks or her dancing or performing or being a proper filler in the film. There's an evolution to the character. There's a lot of gravitas that she offers, and I'm just very proud of it.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you as well. Moving on to you, Sanjay sir, welcome to Sunrise Radio. Just over so many years, we've seen, I've watched your movies growing up. What was it about this script and this character that made you say yes to this?
Well, the script, like Ranbir said, the script is the king. It's a great story. It's a great script. It has a world of its own. And it's a brilliant conflict between Shamshera and Shud Singh and Balli, and it's a beautiful world Karan has created, and I'm really proud to be a part of it.
It's again, nice to see you in such a larger than life role. It suits your personality as well. Do you find it challenging that, that such roles are maybe not frequently being written for you, or do you think it's a bit of a breeze that you get to play these characters and it's easy for you to do something like this?
Well, I mean, Karan comes up with these crazy characters for me. So, whether it's Agnipath and now this. And yes, it is challenging to play, the bad guy in the film. It's very, very challenging, but it's also very interesting because it's got so many shades, You can do a lot as an actor, So, I don't feel shy about it. I like to do it.
Good. And we like to see you in such roles as well. We love it. Ranbir, moving back to you, we already know that you played two characters in this film, but how easy or how difficult was it to convince Karan to say, actually, you know what, let me do both of these roles?
I think we went through a process of auditions, apart from just getting the physicality right of both the characters, making a stark difference in them. It was also trying to build two different personalities of Shamshera and Balli. That was very challenging. It was very exciting. But at the same time, I really had to also channelize two different people in one single film. You are greedy as an actor, you are excited as an actor, but I didn't realize the mammoth of work that I put on my own shoulders because it was such a grueling film, it's multi-genre, and especially the action sequences. We are also part of the tribe called Khameran, who are enslaved by the British, who's led by the Daroga Sahib, that is played by Mr. Sanjay Dutt. So the entire film was physically very tiring. It wasn't something I was prepared for. When I heard the script, I got really excited as an audience, saying that, wow, this is a kind of film I would love to see on the big screen. But actually having to play the beats of the characters, that was very hard for me. But now I can sit and I can be very excited about it. But while I was shooting the film, I was in constant pain. I was in constant distress. I was cursing myself. I was cursing the director. I was questioning God that why has he put me through this? But like Sanjay sir says that if you really want to be part of such cinema, you have to put in that work. Otherwise, it's not going to show on screen.
Yeah, I mean, we can see it on screen through the trailer anyway. Now, Vani, I remember the excitement when the cast was initially announced, that you with Ranbir and Sanjay sir. I mean, how has it been working with both of them?
I mean, they are known for their superlative performances. I couldn't have asked for a better dream cast than them. Again, first time working with both. Sanjay sir is a legend. I have loved every film of his. So have I mean, I've also equally loved Ranbir's films. But for me, Khalnayak, Sajan, there's so many, Munna Bhai MBBS, there's so many films which I cherish and they're so close to your heart. You know, you want to watch these films to just revisit the magic of cinema. You know, those are the kind of films that you grow watching and you want to be an actor and you want to be, as good as how a Sanjay sir is as an actor. And for me, I think it's just been a privilege. I don't know, I don't let it sink in much, honestly. I'll tell you why, because I feel like I don't want to get too excited about all of this. Mm-hmm. I take it very professionally. I have been a very thorough professional like that, but genuinely there is so much excitement that I feel every time, like even during promotions. There's so much gratitude towards having to work with the finest most. I love Ranbir. As an audience, and, so when you get to work with him as his co-actor, you feel all the more special. And he is a special actor. We'd have to agree on that. Very fine, and there's a lot of depth and soul to him, not just as an actor but also as a person. And that reflects in every character you portray. It reflects. So I think it's so important to be good people. Sanjay sir, again, so warm and so kind, and just he makes your experience a gazillion times better. So I feel like, you take these things and these are precious for the rest of your life. Like for me, I'm always going to cherish, even if I'm a 60-year-old woman or an 80-year-old old woman, I'm always going to look back and cherish this.
Oh, well, listen, this is exactly how I was feeling when I saw the cast, and I'm like, this film is going to be out of the world. So I'm really, really excited. I'm so sorry I have to cut this short and I really have to rush back into the studio, but good luck. And I'm really pleased that we got to speak.
Listen to our Bollywood queen, Anushka Arora, from 12 noon to 4 p.m. weekdays on Sunrise.